And that's 3. 3 in one day. That's more than I've ever really done. Now we're gonna see who pulls out first. So just got out of Sing. Figured I'd end my snow day at the movies. It's something. Again, this was a request. Someone asked me to go see this to review it. Not really a lot to say on this one because I think it was everything that it was supposed to be. You know, it was a cute, kids film. A family could enjoy it. I thought, I'm kind of straining on what I'm going to say about this film. When I first saw trailers for it, the thing I kept thinking to myself was, Zootopia meets Glee. 2 bad things that go worse together. And yes, folks, that means I did not like Zootopia. I just did. Ooh, and there's the wrath of God for me saying that. Anyway. I was not a fan. And, but honestly, I mean, this one it's a nice way to wrap up an evening. It was enjoyable. I don't think everyone is everything I hear online and all the reviews I've heard of this film, and it's nominated for all these awards now for the Golden Globes and what it's uplifting and really it's not any more uplifting than any other. It's no different than any other talent show movie, kids that come from nowhere kind of thing. It has kind of, the plot is exactly what you think the plot is going to be. It's nothing really, and I think it does have a good message. I just don't think that message is anything really to get all worked up about. It's nothing. I don't think it's presented any better or any worse than other films of its kind, or shows of its kind. Except in that I think the characters are all really likable. My big complaint over the two other movies I saw today was that in some cases the characters were just so nondescript that they didn't stand out, or or they weren't good characters to begin with. And I think this one makes up for that. I think this is an animated cast of characters, and I mean that in every sense of the word. Their personalities are distinct. They're not, but here's the thing I do like about it. While the plot is fairly stock, and like I say, you can guess what's going to happen. The characters and their situations are not necessarily stock. They go against type a lot, and then first of all, let me say they got a really great voice cast for this one. A really great voice cast. And I don't know how many of them did their own singing. I think almost all of them, if not all of them. You've got, Reese Witherspoon is a housewife pig. I mean that's the character's a pig. No, she's not a pig. You know what I mean. But they don't go with the husband oppresses her and the husband tells her just to stay home and watch the kids. No, it's just she has a busy life and she's tired and she wants a little excitement. And the husband doesn't take her for granted. They show that her husband, he works hard too and he's just tired too. And, it's kind of a spark for both of them. So I like that. That, it wasn't that thing of, oh, you don't understand me, so I'm going to show you where to get off, mister. It didn't have that. Scarlett Johansson plays a punk rock porcupine whose boyfriend's an egomaniac and kicks her out of their band when she gets accepted and he doesn't. But what I like in this is that normally what they do in these stock things is that, again, the character would go, well, I'll show you what for and what how, but they actually take the time to show that the breakup hurts her, that she's sad, and I think that's cool. I like that they took that time. It made the character feel more real. This is a cartoon porcupine. I don't know his name. I know 2 of the characters in this are played by actual singers. One of the young lady who played the elephant, who was adorable, the elephant who has stage fright, is just adorable, and human. As someone who's worked with a lot of kids and directed shows for people and is teaching classes for people who it's their first time on stage, the thing you hear a lot about is stage fright. They're scared to be up there. They're scared to be in front of people, whether or not that's, they're scared they're going to be laughed at, or they're scared they're going to let somebody down, or not. And I feel like they handled it in a good way. The young man whose name I don't know, the gorilla, the character's name is Johnny, so that's what I'm gonna call him. A kid whose dad is in a gang. I love this film. I love the Cockney gorilla criminal gang. I want to see a whole movie just about them. I thought that was kind of like, I know people are gonna hate me, but in that DreamWorks Shark Tales movie, I love the Italian gangster sharks. The Italian gangster sharks were like the most awesome thing. I wanted a whole movie just the Italian gangster sharks, and here I want a whole movie of the Cockney criminal gorilla gang. It was really, and his character was really sweet. And they use this whole thing about him being a member of his dad's gang and him not wanting to do it, just to do this kind of thing of not wanting to disappoint your parent, and not wanting to, let them down. And they handle it really great. I think it's, he's not the dad is not an altogether bad guy, except for the fact he's a criminal, obviously. And the son doesn't hate him. It's never a question of, hating his dad or hating what he made him do. He loves his dad. It's just a thing of the old story of the son wants to do something different, wants to follow his own dream, doesn't want to, be a career criminal. And I think they have stock characters, but they don't go in the stereotypical way with them, and in some ways these may be the most three-dimensional, not just in the animation, but three-dimensional characters I've seen in an animated film in some time, to be completely honest with you. The only one that didn't work quite as well, and this is the character, not the actor, because I like the actor, I don't care what anybody says. The little mouse played by Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane is great, and the voice is great, and his singing is great. If you're a fan of, like I am, of Sinatra and Dean Martin, Seth MacFarlane not only has great respect for them, but is a beautiful lounge singer. So listen to some of his stuff. He's great. But the character didn't quite work for me. He really was the stock character. He was that cocky, wheeling and dealing, I got this all wrapped up, you all aren't talented. And I don't feel like they gave him the same arc they gave all the other characters. And I think that's when you've got, and whether you like him or not, whether you like Family Guy, American Dad, any of that stuff or not, fair enough. But the one thing you can't deny, one, Seth MacFarlane is a really, really brilliant singer. And number two, he's a brilliant voice actor. He has a great voice naturally, and he can do all these different voices. I mean, he does a ton of them for all of his animated shows. So you've got this great actor and this great singer, and the character is just so stock. I wanted to like the mouse because I like Seth MacFarlane a lot. And I don't care what anybody says. A Million Ways to Die in the West is a funny-ass movie. But what I also like about this film, not just how the characters are taken in new ways, but I like what they do with the music and the musical numbers. First of all, the song selection is really good. I think they did a nice job of kind of trying to hit a little bit of everything, and kind of they showcase a lot of numbers in this, especially during the really funny audition scenes. I mean, I find it interesting though, unless you count Taylor Swift, which I really don't, they didn't have anybody do a country song, which I find is, misrepresenting an entire genre of music. They did almost every other genre, but they didn't have anybody do a country song. Again, unless you count Taylor Swift, but I don't think Shake It Off is not a country song, it's a pop song. And, you can say how much you hate country music or not, but I mean, it is an entire brand of music, a whole genre. They deserve some representation. So I would have liked to have seen that. But anyway, aside from that, they did a nice job of kind of spreading the wealth around. More to the point, when they were doing the numbers and which animals were performing which numbers, they really made some creative and interesting choices. The best thing I can compare it to is, if anybody, again, like me, is a fan of the original Muppet Show. When they would take the pop songs of that time and do really funny and inventive things with them. Like, the best one I can think of is when they did In the Navy, and it was all the pigs being Vikings. And they were the Viking pigs going and singing this as they were like ransacking a town. So that that. They did "I Get Around" from the Beach Boys, and they did it with the pigs being a motorcycle gang. So the Muppets always did some really creative things with the song choices, so for staging. And I think this one does it as well. They do some really fun things that fit the song, but nothing that you would expect. Nothing like right out there. So yeah, it was everything you kind of wanted it to be. Even for someone like me, who I'm not as big a fan of popular music now as a lot of people. I don't listen to a lot of stuff that's popular now. I find a lot of it very alien. I'm old now. But it did what it was supposed to do. I went and I had a good time. Will I buy it? Will I watch it again? And maybe if it's on TV, I'll check it out. But I don't think it's one I'm going to go out of my way to see again. But it was an enjoyable film. Definitely gives that lesson, which I think, working in the theater and working with kids in the theater, I think the lesson that we need to get out there is that, you've got this talent, or not even if you've got talent, but if you got the desire to go do it, then, get up there and do it, and, take your shot. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen to you? And I like that. It's about not just, and I like, it really does sell home, and again, it's a pat lesson. It's something that a lot of these have done. In the end, it comes down to, don't do it for prize money, and don't do it for fame and fortune. Do it for you. Do it because you got something you want to say. You got, something you need to do. You got a song you want to sing and an audience you want to please. Do it for that reason, and then let greatness kind of come from that. A very Rocky kind of moral is that you're not always. It doesn't matter if you win. It matters that you had the guts, and as Rocky would say, that you went the distance. So once again, I'm pretty sure, because this has been out for a while. I'm pretty sure if you were gonna go see this movie, you probably already have. But if not, let me say, go check it out. And it's definitely a great one for families. You got kids, especially these days. They got those phones and the earbuds in their ears, and they're always on my lawn. I'm so freaking old. They're gonna love a lot of the music. They're probably gonna leave singing, and you may even leave singing a bit. I'll say this. I almost got a little teary-eyed when the little mouse, Seth MacFarlane mouse, was doing his rendition of "My Way." It's a great song. So yeah, it did what it was supposed to do, and did it well. Is it this great, uplifting, feel-good story of the decade? No, it's not. It's in the end, it's kind of just another one for this animation studio to kind of file away under there, to be rerun on, TBS or whatever 500 times. But really clever animation, really enjoyable characters, and a good song selection. So I think there were a lot of good things working. It was a good way to kind of cap off a snow day, and to kind of cap off my vacation. I have to actually now do work that I haven't done because I spent all day at the movie theater. But anyway, I really liked it. So I had a good day. I hope you all enjoyed kind of coming along with me on this, even though, again, a lot of these are probably movies you've already seen. Probably got one more in me, though. A friend of mine and I probably going to go check out another film that came out over the holiday season on Sunday. So we got this. You might have one more review in me before the end of the week. So thanks for coming along with me. Great to be back. Starting out 2017 on a fairly high note. So hope you are too. So take care, and as always, drive safe, and I will see you at the movies.